people? It is your boy, The Age, with another day in the life of the life of this cryptocurrency. What is good, guys? What's going on? Happy to be on the road doing my favorite drive, if you will, in the morning. And I wanted to hop on here real quick. Just had a thought come to me about a half hour ago. I thought I'd do a little bit of a video on it. Not really too much, because I'm definitely not the politics guy. I don't get into politics, left, right, middle, whatever. Doesn't matter for me. But I thought it was really, really interesting when I heard that Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, had an XRP tip bot jar on his Twitter page. I found that to be very, very interesting. We all know that Trump is really, really active, or he has someone really, really active for him, managing his account. I think it's him personally, though, to be honest with you. And on Twitter, very, very active. Definitely learned. He's a smart guy. He learned a lot from what President Obama did. So, he's very, very active on the page, and he got that concept. He learned a lot from President Obama, and, he knows he gets engagement, he gets that whole type of deal. But nonetheless, here's the deal. An XRP tip bot jar on his page. Like, think about that. Right? He's not hurting, right? The campaign's not hurting for cash. We are talking about the President of the United States, so, there's always a reputation thing, right? There's always, media out there that can make some point about it, good or bad. And, obviously, if they can do some kind of bad media, mainstream media, they'll do it. So you got to think, my point to that is, this was not something, hey, let's just put a tip bot jar on there, right? This was some XRP tip bot jar in there. This was something that was seriously thought out, right? Are you getting what I'm saying here? Why in the world would President Donald Trump have an XRP tip bot jar on his Twitter page? Right? And I think there's a reason behind that. There's a reason for that. Right? Because he could have in his descriptions or whatever on Twitter maybe a public Bitcoin address or public Ethereum address. But he doesn't have those. And he has an XRP tip bot jar, and I think there's a reason for it. Now, if you guys aren't familiar, there's this executive order that Trump signed. I think it was Mnuchin who put it together, I believe. Correct me on that if I'm not right on that, guys. Executive order, I think it was 130772 or something like that, where it mentions the company Ripple 3 times. Signed by President Donald Trump. The people from Ripple, I think at the time it might have been Corey Johnson, someone else, are invited to accept the invitation to the White House. And again, if I said this once, I said it 1,000 times. Why wasn't Charles Hoskinson? He's a smart guy. He's a brilliant guy. Why wasn't he invited to the White House? Why wasn't Dan Lerma? So Charles Hoskinson from Cardano. Why wasn't Dan Lerma? He's a genius. From the EOS camp. Why wasn't he invited? Right? You got it right. Vitalik Buterin, smart guy. Probably smarter than both those guys. Right? Why wasn't he invited from Ethereum? Right? You guys get what I'm saying? The people from Ripple were. Now I find out President Donald Trump has an XRP tip bot jar on his Twitter page. That's not on accident. Right? That's not on accident. And now I'm discovering that Judy Shelton is been nominated now. I think President Trump nominated, I guess, I don't know if it's an approval process to that or not, to the Federal Reserve. And Judy Shelton, there's this video out there from 2016 where she's talking about that we need a new Bretton Woods. We need a new Bretton Woods. And perhaps, I think it's like the timing of this, right? This is from 2016, she said that, and now she is the one that President Donald Trump is looking to head the Federal Reserve. And who's a lady who has espoused in the past of a new Bretton Woods for the digital economy, and she mentioned something along the lines of a digital, I think she said the digital economy, but we need something kind of very like gold, like a unit of account that's neutral, is the word she used, neutral. Like what, you see what I'm saying? First of all, what else could that be? What else could that be? And you got to think, and the reason why I titled this live, which is odd that I'm doing a live, but I'm glad I can do it. Thank you all for helping us to get there. Because that video thing, man, uploading these guys, I'm uploading the videos on the phone. I don't know what was going on with that. But in any case, so think about that. Think about that. And here's the thing I'm thinking for Trump, and that is the ace in the hole. Like, we don't, the Bitcoin thing, right? We is US of A, right? We can't get a hold on that. We can't wrap our arms around that as the great country, the US of A, right? So you know what I'm saying by that? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, that's the thought process. We can't wrap our arms around Bitcoin and call it our own, right? Especially with the things that China's got going on, right? Right? And Ethereum has got, it's just, I don't know what that is. It's like they got so many powerful companies and countries behind it. But this XRP thing, that's a US of A thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Right? That's a US of A thing, if you know what I'm saying. Right? And Donald Trump can play that card. If you know what I'm saying. Right? Smart people put that together and gifted it to the ILP. But it's a US of A thing. Right? Born and raised, if you will, in US of A. And he can put, and since he knows what XRP can do, he has a good grasp of what it can do. He can use that as his thing that he sought out, that he discovered, that he puts into place to perhaps save the country from financial ruin and help solve the global economic crisis. It can be his thing, right? And he can get out there and everybody's listening, and he can talk about the Nostro Vostros, and everyone's going to listen now because it's President Donald Trump saying it. He could talk about all this freed up capital. Poetically about all the benefits that you and I know. Use Judy Shelton, kind of put her out in front of the camera so she gets, if she gets to know. New standard, a new neutral asset for the digital economy. I believe that 100% without question. So, what do you guys think? Do you think that XRP be Donald Trump, that thing that he can use perhaps for the next election, like this thing that that he put in place that has done so much for the country in terms of solving the global economic crisis? I think possibly. Again, an XRP tip bot jar on his Twitter page, right? The executive order where he mentions Ripple, the company, 3 times that he signed. Okay? Right? And now this Fed, Judy Shelton, this Fed, potential Fed, head of the Federal Reserve, and Judy Shelton, that he's picked. I don't know. What do you think, guys? Seems like the writing is on the wall for me. And, you know, the other part of it is, what if the US of A, guys, I just wanted to hop on real quick. But dicey, I appreciate it if you definitely came back to hang out. I know it's wee hours in the morning, but I wanted to test it and see how it goes. So when I get to my destination, I'll play with it a little bit more. But anyway, guys, never ever forget this. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want me to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather us remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. This is our chance to win, guys. This is our chance to win. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of men. Are you participating? Or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know. The battle for you has already been fought. And the victory is yours. Go get it, guys. I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.